All right, let's get to part two of this conversation under Let's Review and Recap the Kountry Wayne skits. Let's talk about divorce. Now, in the state of Georgia, there is no deadline when it comes to signing the papers, but there is 30 days for the person to respond before the other person can go ahead and move forward. Okay? So, let's talk about that. My question to Amber is, if it's been past 30 days and he has not signed them papers, why are you not asking your lawyer to just move forward? Go ahead and move forward. See, she screwed up. Her lawyer, after 30 days of him not responding, should have went ahead and did a non-contested divorce. That's where she went wrong. He didn't sign. She should have just moved forward. Because in the state of Georgia, there is not a specific time that you have for the person to, as far as filing the papers. But that person has 30 days to respond. And if they don't respond, then you can move forward, which means we should have seen them in court, which is what should have happened. So instead of her waiting around for him to sign the papers, she should have done what's called a non-contested divorce, meaning that she can still go through with it. She can go through with the divorce. So because she has not done that, and because her lawyer has not done that, they're still married. They're still married. So unless she goes to court and says she wants to do a non-contested divorce, that she wants to move forward, which would mean they would have to go to court. You just can't say because one person signed the papers and they filed that they're separated. No, they have to go to court. So if he doesn't sign it within 30 days, the lawyer has to say that they're going to go ahead and move forward, which means they have to go to court to do that. So now that she's filed, he hasn't signed, then the lawyer has to put a petition in for a non-contested divorce because he hasn't signed. So then they go to court and they find out why he has not signed the papers. Now, if he says that he didn't sign the paper because he does not want the divorce, then what happens is a mediator comes in and they have to go through counseling for another how long they got to go. And then once they go to court, once they go to counseling, if it still can't be fixed, then they go through with a divorce. That is the way it goes, regardless of what state it is. So because Amber has not told her lawyer, since he hasn't signed, to go ahead and do the non-contested divorce because he hasn't signed and that she wants to move forward, she doesn't need Anthony for that. Because in the state of Georgia, there is no deadline. Whereas in the state of North Carolina, if you do not sign within 30 days, that marriage, the divorce decree is null and void. And in Georgia, it is no deadline. So all she had to do was have her lawyer to do a petition for a non-contested divorce and move forward without him. So what happens once they file that petition, what happens is they go to court. The judge asks why he hasn't signed. He says he doesn't want to get divorced. And that's when they have to do the counseling. And that's when a mediator will be assigned. And the mediator is going to be the person that's going to try to resolve the issue before it goes to a judge. You have to go through a mediator before you go to a judge. That's just how that works. Even if you're suing somebody, you got to go through a mediator before you go before a judge. That's just how that go. So I don't know why people are sitting up here trying to make it seem like that Amber, just because she signed the papers, that she's separate. No. He has 30 days to respond, and if he don't, then her lawyer needs to do a petition to do a non-contested divorce. I've been saying that. But this is why I stopped talking, because everybody talking about this ain't based on real life. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the whole point of these skits, to correct what it is they're not saying that is correct, because then people going to actually believe it and think that's what they can do. So does Amber really want this divorce? No, she doesn't. Because if she did, after 30 days, she would have told Brittany to go through with it. Because you remember, Brittany said in one of the skits that we can go ahead and go through it. We don't need his signature. We can do a non-contested divorce. She's the one that said she wanted to hold off because she wanted him to sign it. No, what it is she wanted him to sign it, so she can go to court saying he's agreeing to pay the half 50% or whatever it is. And Anthony's like, no, I'm not signing it. Why am I paying 50% when you didn't help me build anything? When you cheated before the marriage? Yes, I did wrong and I admit what I did. But at the end of the day, you just now cheated. So yeah, he gonna sign it now. He gonna sign it now because his infidelity and her infidelity gonna basically cross each other out. She gonna leave what she came with. He gonna leave what he came with. Amber's not getting nothing. She has no children. She has a business that he helped her build. He can prove that he helped her with her career before and after. She ain't getting nothing. She ain't getting nothing because he's done more for her than she's done for him financially. She ain't getting nothing. She gonna leave what she came with. The only thing that's gonna happen is, the only thing she could have gotten was a settlement. But now that she done got shot caught cheating, she ain't getting nothing. She gonna leave what she came with. And then when they find out who the man is she's sleeping with, why do you want 50% of this man's money when you got a whole nother man that you dealing with? And he said, when did you start dealing? When I filed the papers. He said, did he sign the papers? No. Well, then you two were technically still married. Boy, Anthony's lawyer is going to have a field day with Amber. That woman is no joke. That woman is not her lawyer. Because if Anthony, the same thing she told him, put her back on that account. Let me handle it. I got it. Because that woman probably already knew. You remember she said she was looking into Amber. That woman played chess, not checkers. That other woman only cared about the money. That's what she cared about. Amber got a lawyer that only care about the money, but don't care about her. Either way, she gonna get paid no matter what. But wait till she tell her lawyer that Anthony now know about Dave. That means his lawyer is gonna bring Dave on that stand, which means that's public record to his career. Melissa tried to tell him. Melissa tried to warn him. He didn't want to listen. So now Anthony get to bring that man on the stand, and that is public record. That man is a businessman. And the one thing that most businesses do not like, a man that mess around with another businessman's wife. So Amber, you gonna mess both of these men. Girl, oh Jesus. Dave, you need to leave her alone. You shouldn't have messed with her until she was no longer married. And now, best believe that is coming out at that party. So at that party, she don't know Anthony and them are coming to that party. So when he see and finally meet Dave, and that come out, that he messing with that man's wife, that man may lose everything because of Amber behind. Like I said, she is exactly what she said to Anthony. She is a man's worst disaster, and is. She is. She is. So again, I guess Wayne gonna be, picking that up, or either Mike gonna pick her up. Because at the end of the day, Dave should have never got involved with her. She is going to be the thing that's going to destroy his career. Because I got a feeling that Anthony and them are coming to that party, and that's whose party that it is. They just don't know it. So Anthony is going to be going to that party, and it's going to come out, and everybody talking about Denicia. No, he ain't sleeping with Denicia. So yeah, he has the right to go out on dates, because technically he ain't sleeping with him. So at the end of the day, all bets are off at that point. Now that the infidelity, now the adultery is out when it comes to Amber, he can basically sign the papers now and say, okay, now I can sign the papers. Because now you ain't getting nothing. Well, let's see what happens. Don't be